Yeah, I've seen that movie far too many times.
Oh, my goodness. So how you doing, Mr. G?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing marvelous.
Yeah, I see you're up to a lot of interesting things now with your new with the new pilot you're working on. You want to talk a little bit about that? Or?
That's not nothing, though.
Well, no, but hey, since you're here, since we have you.
Yes, working on a pilot for a new TV show called Destination Purgatory, Trapped Between Heaven and Hell. And basically, it's a new twist on a ghost hunting show because all the team members of the show are clairvoyants and empaths.
Cool.
So instead of making the viewer wait half an hour for a 2-second inaudible clip of a noise you cannot hear or understand, it's just going to be an hour filled with constant evidence and no big production team. It's going to be all shot from point of view cameras.
Cool.
It's pretty interesting. Our pilot episode is being shot at Burn Brae Mansion in Glen, and we've got so much footage already that it's unreal. I keep throwing stuff up on the Facebook page.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did. I saw that. Some of those, what is it, EVPs?
Yes. It's an hour. I spent an hour and a half up there last weekend in the afternoon out in the woods. And in an hour and a half, we got upwards of 60 absolutely clear EVPs.
Wow.
And my name being said, questions being answered audibly. It's unreal. That place is crazy. They just had the show Stranded filmed there, and that was interesting. Except for the people were from Philly and the
playing a Merciful Fate album or something.
Excuse me?
What was that?
It wasn't just playing a Merciful Fate album and you thought they were calling your name?
I just heard
He said he sure somebody wasn't. He said he sure somebody wasn't playing a Merciful Fate album, and it sounded like they were calling your name.
Actually, I was called Lisa, and I got another EVP that said it's Melissa Freya. So it was quite.
So they know you, which is even scarier.
Yes, they absolutely know me. It was amazing to hear both names used. It's just that place is so hot with activity. It's insane. It really is.
As long as it wasn't like on them when they say, "Look, the old bitch is back."
I don't know. They start calling my names. I'm going to run.
I'm sure they say that. I'm sure they don't. Some of them up there, some of the spirits up there don't like me very much.
Well, it's because you keep calling them out. That's why.
Yeah,
You're
calling them out and uncovering things that they've done in their lives that they really didn't want uncovered.
That was must have been before the internet.
Well, back then they could get away with stuff like that. Now it's like, forget it. Yeah. I didn't want to be on Twitter. I just wanted to haunt this place.
All I wanted to do was show my wiener.
My name is Anthony.
So let me geek out for you a second here. What kind of hardware are you using to capture the EVPs?
We're just using basic hardware. We're just for nighttime shoots, just your regular handheld infrared video cameras, digital video cameras. Excuse me?
No Curlian photography?
Yeah, I can't hear you, man.
Sorry, no Carillion photography, he said.
No. All right, I heard photography was all I got out of that. Yeah, handheld infrared digital cameras and just, basic, digital recorders. even on cell phones, we've gotten unreal footage on just your regular old iPhone.
Wow.
EVPs on those, and even on the video. And as far as camera goes, like still shot cameras, just general digital camera, we capture full body apparitions. It's a place that is just filled with madness, and some of it's good, some of it's wonderful, and some of it's awful that you wouldn't want to take home with you.
Right.
How come nobody ever calls up like the ghost of Bruce Lee or somebody like that?
I would like to hang out with the ghost of Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee is buried about 3 miles from here, so I could go down and check it out if you need me to this afternoon. I'll grab a burger and head down. I'm sure iPhone has an app.
Where is he buried?
He's here in Seattle.
Oh, Jesus, Seattle? I want to go there.
Yeah. Some say
it's home of grunge.
So Chris, based on what you've heard about the show, do you think this will be one that you won't have to blog about because people will watch it, or will you blog about it anyway?
I think I'll blog about it because this sort of thing always baffles me. I'm the guy that is completely baffled by paranormal activity and all that kind of stuff. So I think it would be a perfect blog fodder for me.
But, if you went out there with the equipment, Melissa, you could actually get some decent stuff because, Kurt Cobain, Lane Staley, half the grunge scene OD'd, so.
They would tell me where not to buy my drugs.
In the early 90s, I actually lived in a house with a bunch of other guys, and it turns out that we found out from reading, years later I met Ann Rule, who writes all those true crime novels, and our house that we had rented was the house that Ted Bundy had kidnapped his first victim from.
Oh, lovely.
So if you want to get the creeps, Seattle is the place to get it. There's plenty of it up here.
I smell season 2.
Was that Al Bundy?
No, not Al Bundy.
I never kidnapped anyone. No, it was Peg. It wasn't me.
Beat. I can tell there's Al Bundys here.
No, I'm going to the nudie bar.
Is he wearing his no man shirt?
Yep.
Got dollar bills start floating out of your wallet into the air. Hope Al's here.
Finds it tough to kill with his hands down his pants.
So, yeah. Hello, we're still doing the show. That's right, yeah.
That was a moment of nothing.
Yes, there was some more nothing for you. Did you hear that? Was it loud? Was it deafening? I was just turning over to the TV to see what was going on the news, and apparently there's still a lot going on. So, but, okay. I talked about it at the top of the show. I won't bring it down now. So, anyway. Actually, let's, it's kind of nothing. The whole, what interested you first, Melissa, before you decided to do the show, what interested you in the supernatural and contacting them and things like that?
Wow. I have been able to talk to and see people who other people could not see since I was about 7 years old. And it's something that I went through most of my life keeping a secret because it was something you don't really come out and tell other people. Like, they're just going to think you're out of your mind crazy. And I spent most of my life dealing with it, quietly. And the ones that I did come across that came to me, I helped, but I did the best I could. There was really nobody to teach me how to use the gifts that I had. And the first time I had gone up to Burn Brae in August of 2011, I met a gentleman by the name of Art Peterson, who's a Native American and Scottish gentleman who is also gifted, and I wound up spending the weekend at the mansion, and they had activity that they've never seen before. And it turned out that we realized it was a combination of the two of us in the same place at the same time, both being gifted, that just brought to life things that they have never seen. So I've spent the past few years, working with him and talking to him and being much more open about it than I had been before. It's something that I've, at this point, accepted, and, I know what it is, and I know what I can do with it. I mean, I'm not, by any stretch of the imagination, I am not, the Long Island medium or anything like that. I don't take money to tell people about the people around them. If someone comes up to me or gets my attention and says, "Can you tell this person this for me?" I just tell them. And I've had some situations where it's made people quite uncomfortable, but nonetheless, I've done it. I walked into the diner by my house a couple of weeks ago, and there was a gentleman sitting in a booth by himself eating breakfast, and behind him was an old man, and the old man kept telling me, "Tell him about the Roadrunner sticker." And I'm like, I don't know what the hell that means, but okay. So I walked over to the man sitting down, and I said, someone wants me to tell you about the Roadrunner sticker and how it's not on right. It's curved under. And he just looked up at me, and he was like, "Well, how do you know that? My grandfather just died, and right before he died, he put a Roadrunner sticker on his bumper. He loved the Roadrunner, and he put it too low, and it curved under the bumper, and he was so annoyed by it." And I said, "I don't know why he wants you to know that, but he just wants you to know that." And I walked away.
Wow.
So maybe I could have stuck around and delivered more information, but I figured that was it. That was my extent of involvement in it.
Honestly, does it like sometimes creep you out?
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. I mean, the first one I ever saw, I was 7 years old. I was a kid. I woke up, and there was a Asian woman standing in my bedroom in my house. And I thought, like, you'd think 7-year-olds would be scared, and there was nothing scary about her. And then she disappeared, and the next night I sat up waiting because, like, I knew she was coming back, and she came back, and she asked me to find the pictures, and she kept showing me my family's dining room set, which was an antique. And the next morning I went into the dining room and started looking for pictures. I didn't know what she was talking about, but I knew she wanted pictures to be found, and eventually I pulled drawers out, and stuffed up in the top of one of the drawers was a big, huge manila envelope filled with pictures from Japan and from the United States, all old, of families and soldiers and babies and grandmothers, and I, how else would I have found them? I went to my mother and I said, "Where did you get the dining room set?" And she said, "We bought it from a Japanese man. His mother died. It was hers." And I said, "Call him. These are his. She wants him to have them."
Wow.
And my mother never asked me how I knew. Never once was it, why did you pull all the dining room drawers out?
Right.
So I never said anything. I just figured, better off not saying anything, otherwise I'm crazy.
Sure. Well, then there was that whole Catholic schoolgirl thing going too. Then that probably played into it a little bit too, right?
I think that's probably one of the reasons I had a very hard time in Catholic school, because of what I could see and what I understood and what I could do. I couldn't buy into what they were telling me, especially in the religion classes. I just couldn't. I could not relate to how they were conveying the traditional Catholic beliefs, because they were so contradictory to what I could see around me that nobody else could see.
Right. Were you given any types of insight into what's over there, so to speak, on the other side?
when we leave this life, these bodies that we're walking around in, some people choose to stay and just, wander aimlessly, and some people move on because they understand that they can move on, and some of them are stuck here. Some of them come and go as they please. I was actually Skyping with somebody the other day who I said to her, Lori, there's somebody standing behind you. And she looks behind herself, and she's like, who? And I said, her name is Susie Watts. She said she's passing through. And she just passed away recently. And she said, why is she in my house? And I said, she's just wandering. She wants to see all the places she's never seen before. And your house, she wound up in it, just passing through. So she wound up looking up online for Susie Watts had passed away, and sure enough, she was from Massachusetts, and she died 3 weeks before.
Oh no, they're coming for us.
We're sorry, the number you have reached is not in service. Please check the number or try your call again. Taking the recording.
Okay then.
Wow.
See, we're getting our own sort of messages from the other side now, huh?
Yeah, that was a good EVP.
Don't you dare hang up.
That's excellent.
Yeah, we were kind of getting into some serious territory there. So.
Yeah.
But I was gonna actually tie it into the subject, what you were describing. I was gonna say, is there something else, or is there, like the topic of the show is today, nothing?
That's right, nothing.
So, but it's good to know that there's something, I guess, because yeah.
Yeah, there is. There's a lot. I just, I don't want to ruin it for you, Matt.
Oh no. No spoilers. No spoilers. It's okay.
Your 40 virgins are waiting for you.
Only 40?
They may be guys, but they're still waiting.
Oh, man.
Nothing for you.
Oh, well, when in Rome, or Sparta, for that matter. So, if anybody else wants to join us in the nothingness, please give us a call, 714-459-3941. 714-459-3941. Yes, hello. I already said hello.
Come with me to the grave. I'm coming for you.
You should be very careful. And not only can I talk to them, I can send them to your house.
Ruh-roh. Have you ever had to do that?
I have been known to on occasion, in a fit of obnoxious rage, do that. I did. I was up at the mansion one time, and there was one of them in the room with me, and I was just at that moment, like, really in no mood to deal with them, and I just wanted to relax and decompress. And someone walked past my door, and I said, "Why don't you go bother him?" And she did. She went and bothered him.
That's wild. I'll have to remember that if one of them starts bothering me, I'll be like, go bother the guy next door.
Yeah. Give him somebody else to take his dog for a little while.
Exactly. Besides, I have pets for that, so there you go. So is it is that old myth true that animals can see spirits, or have you not experienced them?
Absolutely.
Have you done anything like that in what you're doing, or?
My partner Art, he has 2 beautiful dogs that just will not under any circumstances go into the woods up at Burn Brae Mansion. They do not like it at all. They get very, very, very upset, and they're the most docile little dogs you could ever meet. But when you try to take them into the woods, you could see like a total change in their personality. They don't want to go in there. And I think it's the same for any animal. Like if you have a dog or a cat or any animal that's, staring at something that you can't see, there's more than likely something there. You just can't see it.
Right. Because I've noticed that with my dogs sometimes. They'll be looking at someone that I can't see, but it's obvious someone's there. So I'm slightly empathic that way myself. I see dead people. But do you get that a lot?
Yes, I do. All the time. It's quite funny. And I think my favorite part about it is that, like, whenever I meet somebody and start dating them, like, I come out of the gate sharing this now, whereas I used to, like, never tell anybody. Now I'm out of the gate, and it comes out right away.
That your freak flag fly, as it were.
Yes. When I stand there and say, like, before I start, I say, okay, if you're going to run, this is when you're going to run. And then I tell them, and I figure if someone can hear that and stick around for the next act, then, they're worth having around. And if they can't deal with it, then they just, there's the door, go ahead, go, because it's so much a part of who I am that I kept quiet for such a long time. I mean, even, the new book that's coming out, Attached, it's a true story. It's pretty much the story of my life in terms of how I've grown up with this and some of the things that have gone on that I didn't understand as they were happening. And as my story unfolded, I started connecting the dots and putting 2 and 2 together and saying, all right, wow, like, I completely understand this now. Like, this entity was showing up in my life over and over and over again, and I could never figure out who it was, and I always thought it was something bad. And when I sat down and reflected on it and started journaling and writing this book, I started seeing a pattern that, the things that I assumed were bad weren't bad. And I know it's kind of confusing, but you see this from the time I was young. I would see this entity that was like this old man who was very scary looking and very like emaciated and yellow eyes and skin drawn back, and I saw him quite a few times. And every time I saw him, something bad happened. And I always thought it was him causing something bad, but there's something bad that was happening. Like I saw him on Century Road by Paramus Catholic, and I wound up riding my car into the cemetery because I thought he was a person. And he was warning me. He was trying to stop me from doing something at a later time, and I didn't get that.
Right.
I did not get that. Like, I always, ran away from him until I looked at the big picture and I said, holy crap, like, he showed up this time and this is what he did, but look what happened after. And had I not been so cautious about him being around, this would have happened.
So in a way, he was more of a guardian angel.
Yes, well, absolutely, yeah, I believe so. I mean, in the book, I explain who he is, who I found out who he was, and yeah, he was looking out for me when he was scary looking, menacing, but he wasn't menacing. Right. So that's just a complete nod to, things aren't always what they seem. You look at it and you might not really be seeing what it really is, only what you perceive it to be.
Sure, it's like the guy who's late for the bus and then misses the accident or whatever. It's It's that kind of thing. Something that's bad may actually be bad for a good reason.
Absolutely.
So, anyway, though, considering all this, though, and seeing as you've sort of reconciled your abilities and whatnot, how would you characterize yourself if someone asked you? Would you use the word witch or empath or how would you? Well, what would you call yourself? What are you?
I am both. I am a witch. I am a self-proclaimed witch. I am Wiccan. That is the religion I practice. And then in terms of, my abilities, I'm an empath. I'm a clairvoyant. I'm just a gateway to the things that other people can't see and understand. And once I openly accepted that, it got worse. I mean, the amount of the number of people and spirits and entities that did walk into my life and try to contact me increased exponentially because they now knew that I understood it. And they look for people who understand it, and they know who the people are that understand it. So they seek you out. So, yes, I am a witch, yes. I'm a white witch, a good witch.
Are you a good witch or a bad witch?
Although I would really like to wear the outfit that what's her name wore in the new movie Oz.
Mila Kunis, that red outfit, you mean?
Yeah. No, not the red one. The black witch outfit that she wore when she turned bad. That was badass.
I always tell people I'm a man witch because I'm a meal baby. Just had to throw that in there.
Nice. Maybe you could make a movie.
There you go. Hey now. But if any of those spirits that you encounter, if any of them talk about me or ask about me, just put in a good word.
I will try.
Cool. No, he's really a nice guy. He needs a break. Seriously, he is. Forget about all that stuff he did.
We all make mistakes.
Yes, exactly. There you go. Besides, there's no photographic evidence, so they can't prove a thing.
That's right. Plausible deniability, baby.
That's right. I wasn't there. It wasn't me. It was some other guy. That's right. It was a terrible flood, a hurricane, locusts.
Nice.
So let's. There we go. I don't know what that's supposed to be. Is that somebody's ringtone?
I'm not quite sure.
I don't know.
I have two ringtones.
I don't know what that is. Anyway. I'll ask you the same question I asked everyone at the top of the show, too. Did you do your taxes today?
I did my taxes on January 20th.
Oh, good. So then you've got nothing to worry about.
No, nothing to worry about. January 20th, and I submitted them electronically and was advised that the IRS would not start looking until the 25th.
So you even got them in early.
Yes.
Cool.
I had my refund by the end of January.
Nice. Well, we're batting 500 so far. Doc, did I ask you about your taxes? I forget now.
Nope.
Did you do them?
They're in.
Oh, okay. When did you do yours early too?
No, I was actually kind of late, but I already got my jersey back, and I had to pay out on federal. So.
Well, Chris, you and I are the only ones who are getting an extension this year. So yeah, we're batting 500.
Slacking. I haven't even filed the extension form yet.
Mm-hmm.
I've still got 6 hours. I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't know. The way I look at it is, it's my money. I want it back.
I might owe this year, so that's why I'm really not in much of a hurry.
Yeah, I think mine might be there. They don't get it till I'm ready.
So, but the good thing is, like I said early, on the beginning of the show, is that the H&R Block is like 3 blocks away. So right after the show, I could just hustle down there and get it done. It's all good.
Do you think you're going to be standing on line?
I don't know. It's possible, but I have until midnight, so it should be okay. I don't have anything else going on tonight.
Well, you got till midnight to get it stamped for postage. So is the post office open all night?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the other cool thing too, is that the post office stays open till past midnight, so you can get your stuff postmarked. Unless I think I can e-file with H&R Block, so I don't know. I don't want to turn this into a commercial for H&R Block, so.
I'll give equal time. I do the TurboTax, so they're equal time.
Okay.
Although the time to go really is 11:04 on April 15th. You go to the main branch of whatever city you're living in, and there's always a camera crew down there filming those schlubs that have waited until the last second. So you can go down there and jump up and down while you drop your letter into the mail.
So they can ridicule you on the 11 o'clock news.
Yeah, they're like, here's the guy that waited after you told your wife you did him 3 months ago.
Mm-hmm. They never interview that guy, though. It's always like, oh, yeah, I just forgot. And then I remember something like, oh, yeah, I told my wife I'm not supposed to. Leave me alone. Come on, cut it out. That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
See, that would be a show I would watch. Bringing it back around.
Doing things that they already lied about.
Mm-hmm.
It's done. I did it.
What can we call it? Busted?
Yeah.
What do you think? We got something here?
There's certainly enough fodder in my house for that.
And then at the same time, we can pick through people's attics and find artifacts and resell them at garage sales.
Right. And then Melissa sends some ghosts over to Nadia G's house and bug her for a while.
Exactly. There you go.
Just bring it all together.
Mm-hmm. Do you watch Nadia G's Bitchin' Kitchen, Melissa?
Never heard of it.
Ah, maybe you're lucky. It's on the cooking channel. It's a pretty obnoxious cooking show. So.
No, I'm a BBC girl.
Ah. It's
Top
like that.
Gear, Doctor Who.
So you like the highfalutin stuff then, huh?
Yeah, the highfalutin stuff. Top Gear is highfalutin.
I was being sarcastic.
It's the best car show out there ever.
Mm-hmm. I never got into it. My nephews, they watch it religiously, but I never got into Top Gear. I probably should.
Well, you have to watch the Britain one, not the United States one. The United States one is garbage.
Well, yeah, that's usually the case with any show, yeah.
Yeah, the U.S. one is really pretty lame.
You saw my post a couple of weeks back about She-Wolf of London. We were watching that, and I was like, how the hell did they take a show off the air? It's so good. It was witty, it's clever, it had great locations. The acting was decent. And then all of a sudden, the last couple episodes, they brought it over to L.A. and gave it to American screenwriters. And I'm like, how did this last so long?
That's always the case. Well, the thing with the British shows, though, from what I've been hearing about just, over the last couple of years, is that a lot of those shows don't last very long because after like 2 or 3 seasons, the actors get so full of themselves that they think they can have movie careers and they just walk away from the TV shows and they try to keep them going by bringing different people in, and it just doesn't hold up. So
doesn't that happen here at Friends?
No, yeah, that's true. But a lot of them wind up staying on the TV show here, whereas on the other, over there, they actually leave the shows. But yeah.
Well, that's the beauty of Doctor Who. They want to get rid of him, they just bring a new doctor in.
Mm-hmm.
He transforms and he's new.
An interesting article with Eric Idle was talking about when Monty Python was on, that the BBC, they didn't really like it, so every week they kind of put it on at a different time slot so people couldn't find it. I think that's what happens over there that does not happen over here. The BBC just decides what they want to do. Then when they get tired of something, they just hide it at 1 o'clock in the morning or something.
Well, they used to do that here, but it was more in the 70s. I remember there was a lot of shows that I used to watch that were on like Thursday and Friday nights when I was a kid. and all of a sudden it would jump to some other night. You wouldn't know what it is. It'd be off for 2 weeks. It'd be back on a Tuesday. Then it'd be off again. Spider-Man, they did that too. I know for a fact. I mean, there was several shows that did that. Yeah.
Well, they still Fox and ABC do that a lot too. They'll get a show and they'll bring it on, and a couple weeks later they'll move it to Friday, and then they'll move it to Tuesday, and move it to Sunday, and just bounce it all around the place, and then they wind up canceling it 6 weeks later. So, and it all comes down to Jerry Seinfeld, who was on for 11 years, and it was all just a show about nothing. So, see how we bring it all together?
Yep.
Now that's closure.
Yes, and a perfect timing too, right at the end of the show. See, God, I'm good at this sometimes.
Now it's time to sit here and talk about breakfast cereal.
So who are these people? I don't understand. So hey. Anyway, we've reached the end of our little experiment about nothing. Yes, the nothingness has come to a close. I want to thank my guest for calling in, Chris Maxwell. Check out his blog. Give it a plug one more time, Chris.
The shows you're not watching .blogspot.com.
One more time. We had some sound effects going over you there.
It is the shows you're not watching at .blogspot.com.
Okay, cool. We'll check that out. And Melissa, what's the name of your pilot that you've got coming up?
Destination Purgatory, Trapped Between Heaven and Hell.
Cool. And is there a website or a Facebook page?
Yes, there is. Destination Purgatory, Trapped Between Heaven and Hell is the Facebook page. And Melissa L. Freya at Facebook for either the Destination Purgatory or for the new novel Attached that will be out sometime in the next 2 months.
Awesome. We'll keep an eye out for it. And as of course always, Doc is going to be back on Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific for Third Eye Cinema right here on the Big Papa Network. Okay, we'll be back next week with one of our final wrap-up shows of the month, and so be sure and tune in at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, Monday, right here on the Big Papa Network on Blog Talk Radio. Until then, I'd like to hear from you. Leave comments, ask questions, post music, art, videos, or anything else you'd like to show off on our Facebook page at facebook.com/BigPapaOnline. You can also contact the show at feedback at BigPapaOnline.com, or follow me on Twitter at FatKidGlasses, and be sure when you tweet about the show to use the hashtag @EyeLevel, all one word. So, yes, we want to hear from you, but remember, it's okay. You can say what you want. I'm a big boy. I can take it. Just remember the rules. It's okay to argue. It's okay to disagree. It's even okay to use 7 dirty words. Just keep it civil. All I ask is that you be honest, original, and don't hate. For a transcript of this show, go back to the beginning and start typing really fast. @EyeLevel is a production of the Big Papa Network. Visit BigPapaOnline.com for more information.